Welcome to episode 32 of the Loane Hockey Podcast, where today we're going to be talking about Royal Road plays inside the offensive zone and the importance of utilizing the Royal Road in terms of offensive production and being able to utilize it in many different perspectives as well. Now, when talking about the Royal Road and specifically how it leads to offense and how it can generate more offense, you're looking at an entire makeup of lateral playmaking elements and lateral passing elements that go into that. The importance of Royal Road offense, and there was a study done, I believe, by a former New York Ranger goaltender a while back, talking about how Royal Road offense is one of the hardest shots to stop from a goalie's perspective because of the ability to try and slide over. And it's very difficult for goalies to try and slide over in time to make those saves across the Royal Road. Now, the Royal Road is an area in the offensive zone where it's below the top of the circle to the goal line area, and it's that middle line in the slot area. And it's in that space where a player can either carry the puck through or pass the puck across, where creating offense in that area is very dangerous. Thus, it's called the Royal Road because it's a highly effective way of generating translatable offense in a highly effective way and the most gifted way of generating offense in those sequences as well. Now, the Royal Road is very potent when it comes to being able to generate quick strike offense because you see a lot of those seam passes trying to go through the Royal Road on the power play, for example, when you have McDavid Draisaitl or say Matthews Tavares or Connor Bedard trying to slip a pass across to the other side on the power play. You have a lot of different link ups and a lot of different units in terms of how players can link together on the power play to be able to find those seams, find those playmaking elements. And that seam, it's very hard to try and defend as a PK coverage or a 5-on-5 coverage. Say if you're using a box plus one or a wedge or something along those lines on the PK, if you're using a box, a natural box, a natural hybrid box where it's enclosing the middle and trying to close off the middle, try to keep players to the outside. So when trying to limit the Royal Road, it's very difficult because the spacing elements become more important, especially for defenders and being able to maintain defensive posture elements. Because if you space yourself out too much in defensive coverage, then it becomes much easier for those seams to open up and those seams to be opened up in Royal Road settings as well. So with the Royal Road, it's a very important way of generating offense. Generating offense, it has to be quick though, because sometimes players can pass across the Royal Road, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they actually generate something out of that, generate something out of the pass, generate something out of the shot. There has to be something and something along the lines of a linkage between the pass and then the next play. It has to be a quick shot and it has to be a shot that comes off the stick quickly. It can't be a shot that takes a while to wind up because if it takes a while, then the goalie is able to slide across easier and then get in position much easier in that realm. So when talking about the importance of Royal Road offense, being able to generate it in a way that makes a goaltender forced to move very quickly and forced to move in a way that doesn't allow them to get to a certain space within the net in a timely manner is very important and very important to try and take advantage of that and manipulate that as the offensive team and trying to take advantage of those seams and off slap shots, off shots off the catch, and off wrist shots off the catch are going to be most important ways to trying to generate offense off those shots from passes directly through Royal Road passes. So being able to generate through those is very important. And when talking about Royal Road offense, it can happen in a lot of different ways too. It doesn't have to just be something where it happens from face off the circle from a pass to another pass across to the other circle on the other side. It can be something where players can be stationed in many different areas just as long as they're positioned between that goal line and the top of the face-off circle and either carrying the puck or passing the puck across the slot. Now, when you're getting a player who's moving dynamically with speed differential and with shiftiness, and lateral agility, being able to maneuver on a carry attempt across the Royal Road, now that's even more dangerous because the goalie in this sequence has to adapt on the fly. They have to be able to adapt their edges. They have to be able to adapt how they move, their skate positioning, how they angle to the puck, how they angle their blocker and glove to the puck. They have to angle a lot of different ways and adapt on the fly to be able to adapt to that shot. Now, especially when a player's moving speed differential, the goalie is at less of an advantage here because that's when the attacker has an actual opportunity to be able to go around the goalie or try and find a way to maneuver around him with speed because the goalie isn't necessarily going to be able to match that speed right away. So that's important when talking about Royal Road offense and being able to generate off carry attempts specifically. Players can maneuver from forehand to backhand many different ways. And a lot of players nowadays you see are getting better at maneuvering through interior space. They have a habit and a knack of trying to find the middle as often as they can. So when you're talking about the importance of Royal Road offense, that's a really good habit to have and really good habit for players to be inclined to have because otherwise, if they don't have a habit of getting to the middle, then it mitigates the actual effectiveness of the Royal Road offensive output in general. So by being able to have the natural habit, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a super skilled player doing this. A lot of even role type players are becoming more skilled nowadays where they can find interior space, be able to maneuver and incorporate some degree of manipulation and deception, not necessarily as much compared to the higher skilled players, but even some of your role guys, and it could be junior, it could be minor pro, it could be NHL, SHL, Finnish Elite League, KHL. There's a lot of players who are doing a much better job of being able to find interior space and then maneuver inside that space. So by being able to maneuver inside that space, they have many different opportunities to try and maneuver around the defenseman as long as they have speed differential elements inclined to be able to link together to the next play. So that's really important when talking about Royal Road out offensive output and being able to generate in those sequences. And the effectiveness of Royal Road offense is there's a lot of dynamic ways it can be created. You can, like I said, you can create off carries, you can create off passes, you can create off shots. So with Royal Road offense, as long as teams are open up and windows and passing lanes aren't closed off, and there's an opportunity, and there's usually a lot of opportunities for players to be able to find those spaces, find those different elements to be able to try and link together the next play, link together the next sequence, link together a possession play. So there's a lot of different elements when talking about the importance of Royal Road play, and being able to generate many different ways. There's versatility in how Royal Road offense can be generated. And it's the strong, like I said, it's the strongest way to generating offense based on analytics, based on raw data. It's been statistically shown over time to be continuing in that trend in that direction as well. So nowadays you get more emphasis on the transition game. So if we're talking about transition play inside the neutral zone, the efficiency of that and being able to have speed differential of that, linking that together with zone entries and being able to find interior space in the offensive zone, being able to maneuver inside the Royal Road, that could be something that could really link together a lot of different entry points in terms of data and actual raw data because transition play and transition efficiency, we know that's very important. We know how important efficiency on offensive zone entries are, and we know the efficiency of Royal Road offense. So combining those elements together, there can be a really unique way of trying to create systems, tactics, different elements that go into the game around those elements. Because if players are able to find interior space more often and have leverage not only in transition but on zone entries and then in Royal Road sequences and interior space in the offensive zone, then there's going to be more leverage in terms of how teams can actually create and how individual players can actually create offense as well. A lot of this is based on raw data, but some of this is based on actual physical habits within players and teams as well to try and systematically leverage certain points so that way these teams and players can actually create the most output within their own games and within their own style of play as well. And obviously, like I said, it depends on the player. Like if you're getting a super skilled player, they're going to be more inclined to try and find the middle. You're going to be more inclined to use speed differential. They're going to be more inclined to use manipulation and deception, being able to move their feet, being able to move the puck quickly, being able to move the puck with pace, be good puck transporters, be consistent decision makers, consistent with their leadership, consistent with how they attack in their offensive game. So you're getting your most skilled players who are not only really good at being able to leverage so many different components of the game, but nowadays there's more emphasis on skill development and tactical analysis, systematic analysis, video analysis, analytical analysis. Now you get different entry points and different variations, which can apply to back to Royal Road offense and being able to generate that as much as possible. Obviously, teams want to try and find the middle, try to find the interior space as much as they can, but there's specific leverage points, specific data points that have to be utilized in order to find those sequences and find those ways of generating offense in terms of specific and being able to generate inside those sequences as well. So Royal Road offense, the importance of lateral playmaking is obviously very potent as well. And lateral playmaking comes in many different forms because you want to have efficiency, and this ties back into the efficiency with analytics. Talk about neutral zone play, offensive zone entry play, Royal Road play. You want to have efficiency within the Royal Road and efficiency within the passing, within the carrying, and efficiency within shooting as well, because the more likely a player can actually shoot faster or find a way to pass faster or find a way to carry the puck faster with speed differential, you're getting elements that can really translate more effectively, can really overpower defensive structure and really draw them out of position and allow the offensive team to take advantage of that. So speed is a really important thing and really important factor when talking about efficiency and being able to link together so many different sequences, but specifically Royal Road play, because to have efficiency within the Royal Road means a better chance and better likelihood of generating actual goals and goal output and consistent goal output. Now we see a lot of power play production at 5v4 situations where Royal Road offense is so effective and being able to generate quick strike offense in those situations, even more so than 5-on-5, because obviously 5-on-4, there's an extra man down for the defensive team. So that gives an advantage for the offensive team in trying to find seams. There's not box plus one coverage compared to 5-on-5 where you have a box plus one. They say 5 on a dice, that type of thing. Whereas actual a regular box in a PK setting, so it opens up more seams potentially through the middle there. So with Royal Road offense, the importance of lateral efficiency, lateral playmaking, being able to generate quick strike elements within playmaking is so potent, so important to be able to generate consistent output as well. And the the better the team is, usually they have more success. Like in Tampa Bay, for example, Kucherov and Stamkos, the Royal Road offense there. But Victor had been actually manning the point, being able to lure guys in, draw guys out of position. So that way, when he feeds the puck over to Stamkos or to Kucherov, there's a lane open because he can lure guys in. He can lure guys in from the point. That opens up coverage near the middle of the ice. So that way, Kucherov or Stamkos can feed a pass to one another. And they're obviously on their strong sides to where they can one-time pucks, shoot off the catch. They can shoot if they want to or pass back. And Kucherov's especially good with passing manipulation. Stamkos, we obviously know he's a well-renowned goal scorer who's now heading to Nashville. Oh, he has the potential to transform the power play and 5-on-5 play for offensive output there. And he could actually be a really good offensive contributor for the Royal Road offense in Nashville as well. He had so much success with doing that in Tampa Bay with Kucherov and being able to link together Royal Road offense, being able to actually create the output, especially with Stamkos being such a high volume, high quality shooter. You have different leverage points in how you can shoot off the Royal Road in those sequences as well. So if you get a player who's somewhat, there's not a ton of players who are somewhat similar to Kucherov in Nashville, but if you get a player who's Kucherov's handedness, with that being a lefty, and you put him on the right side circle, who can link together some chemistry with Stamkos, now you can get some Royal Road output there as well. So, and talk about different leverage points, you want to have a really good shooter and obviously a really good playmaker when talking about Royal Road offense. One who's really good with passing, manipulation, deception, like Kucherov, the example we just mentioned there. The other being a really good shooter and a really good counterintuitive element to the passing, manipulation, deception. So that way you have opposites attracting in that sense, and that way they're able to attract each other in really good realms. The shooter can attract the passer, and the passer can attract the shooter. So you have different elements there as well. And that can be a really effective sequence in Nashville because now you got Roman Josi head manning the point. Now you have Stamkos likely manning that first power play unit because them being so aggressive on the free agent market, you know they're going to give Stamkos as much ice time as they can. But tying back, the Royal Road example, and a lot of different contributors contribute to Royal Road offense in general, but obviously, and most ideally, you want to have those two players in the face-off circle being able to leverage those passing elements at 5-on-5 and 5v4 as well.